Hello, all you hardcore boxing fans out there. How are we doing? It's Russ here from Porky's Corner, the voice of hardcore boxing. Big shout out, Welcome Estates and Spartan Demolition, South Yorkshire Packaging, Innovation Alloys. Before we get started, right, I can explain this. Jake Paul against Tommy Fury. Does it happen? I don't know, but I just wish somebody had put me out of my misery. Just get him to do something at least, because all we're hearing is chit chat around anything to do with Tommy. It's all a bit of a mess, isn't it, really? Probably because the father's involved, isn't it? Whatever he is, there's carnage, isn't there? Proper carnage or chaos. Tommy's 8-0, 4 by way of. Jake Paul 6-0, 4 by way of. Jake's 26, Tommy's 23. One's a Yank, one's a Brit. Do I want to see them fight? You know what? I'm not going to lose any sleep over it if they don't fight. But yeah, I've invested a bit of time into it myself. Let them just get at it and get a few quid. Tommy's not about that boxing life. He wants to be a celebrity, doesn't he? If he was taking boxing serious, Tommy Fury, ranked number 43 in Britain out of 103, he'd be climbing up the rankings and fighting guys above him and working towards getting a Central Area belt or an English belt or a Commonwealth, something, a domestic belt or a domestic eliminator at least. We're not getting that, are we, from him, because he's had his head turned by, getting good money against Jake Paul, and it's called prize fighting, so why not? It's not rocket science, is it? It'd be interesting to see what weight they're going to do it at, because Tommy's saying he's a light heavyweight, Jake's saying he's a cruiserweight, so maybe a weight in between. I don't know. But this Roxy, come here. Come on. Come here. You know, every time somebody walks by, you have to bark. Hey, come here. Go on, burn rubber. Go on, scoot. Go on, scoot. Right. Getting back to Jake Paul. He's a cruiserweight. Let me just shut this door. You can go next as well. My sister. Shift. Right, Jake Paul. He's a cruiserweight. Tommy's a light heavy. Do I see them? Do I see him winning a belt? Jake Paul as a pro? No, I don't. Do I see Tommy winning a belt? No, I don't see him winning any belts whatsoever. They're going to zip it, Bungle. Come on, I'm trying to film here. Come on, thought you were my mate. Rocky. Do I see him winning a belt? No, I don't see him winning a belt whatsoever. Only belts they'll have on their mantelpieces when they're older is snake belts. Come here, you can go as well. Come on, you can go. Come on, you win it, sin bin. Go on, burn rubber. Right. So I don't know, but it's this whole YouTube thing that I've got a problem with. As you can see, I have a problem with it. I have a problem with kids turning over from amateur and trying to make a name for themselves and not being able to get a few quid, because these people here are barging into the sport and they're treating this sport that I love, boxing, like wrestling, like WWE. Do you know what you watch for your kids and you laugh and you got 20 stone men hitting other 20 stone men and they've not got a mark on them and all that, and it's all pantomime, and yeah, I get all that. But these people are turning the Queensberry rules boxing. They're turning it into WWE, and I can't get my head around it. Maybe I'm missing something. I don't know, but I don't see kids wanting to turn over now and win an area belt. They're all talking trinket belts and subscribers on social media and sponsorship deals and, going in for big fights after 3 or 4 fights and taking the sport up in the 20s and that. Oh, what happened to kids taking the sport up when they're 10, 11-year-old and learning the craft? Is all that gone now? Is this what we're left with? Because this has been rancid in the sport now for 5 years. But what happens in another, say, in another 5 years? What will happen then when another generation's not decided to be amateur boxers? You know, these kids now that are like 5-year-old, in 5 years, will they be wanting to be amateurs? Or will they just want to play with the toys and take it up when they're 25, like Jake Paul or whoever? You know, people in the 20s. What we're going to have next? Are we going to have accountants against solicitors on Sky pay-per-view, intense beef? Where's it going to end? It's a bit like years ago. People wanted to be vigilantes. Well, what next? You're going to start shooting people for littering. Is this what we're going to have? Nurses against doctors. Hey, politicians against prison wardens. That'd be a good one, wouldn't it? Hey, is that what we're going to have next? Where does it end? When people can just cross over into the sport and do what they want. And where does this end? Who's stopping all this? Who let it in? Well, the first two big shows were Spencer Oliver, wasn't it, Spencer? Yeah, you know, Spencer. You kept that quiet for all these years, didn't you? You and your mate Jake Wood. Why don't you tell everybody how much you really made? Hey? People like Spencer Oliver doing that to sport and then dipping in and taking money out of sport with media. Hey? These people brought it in and lined the pockets. And they disrespect it when it suits them, but it's okay for them to line the pockets. We've all seen Carlos Sauerland slag it off, haven't we? And then dip in and line his pockets. These people would turn on you as look at you. Lickers, a lot of them. Lickers. And look what they've done to the sport of boxing. Look at the state of it. The man in the street doesn't even know who the middleweight champion of the world is. Eh? You don't even know. Then again, who's heavyweight champion at the world? There's two, isn't there? Or is the three with Dubois? Well, that's a mess, isn't it? Well, how many welterweight champions we got? It goes on and on, doesn't it? And this is just making it worse. It's just more issues for boxing. People like this Jake Paul and KSI. Did you see how many people were hanging out the back of that KSI's entourage from boxing? We're talking license holders here. Did you see them hanging out the back of him at the after party? In British, unbelievable. Unbelievable. No wonder Derek Chisora decided to come over here and fill his boots, and Dylan White. They must think we're all stupid. Well, we are stupid, aren't we? Allowing it. Allowing people to come over here and take the mickey out of this sport of boxing. Chisora should be retired now. He shouldn't be embarrassing the sport hanging around it. He should be retired. Dylan White's more or less spent. He's calling out Ngannou now. I mean, where does it end this? Where does it end? I'll tell you where it ends. It ends up with somebody who's been given a license who shouldn't have been getting maimed. Touch wood, it doesn't happen. But that's where it's heading. There's too many of these YouTubers in the sport now. I have to tell Max off all the time. He's in his mid-30s, Max. You know, he's doing boxing now, Max, and he knows it's an hard sport. It cheapens the sport. Jake Paul against Tommy Fury cheapens the sport, in my opinion. But if it gets it over and done with and puts us out as misery, so be it. But it's not for me. I think Jake Paul is an utter goonie. That's what I think he is. He's an utter goonie. I wish John Fury could have reached through that TV screen, and strangled him. Okie dokie. Peace out.
Porky's Corner is proud to be sponsored by Spartan Site Solutions. They are specialists in civil engineering and demolition contracts for the construction industry. Interested parties should visit their website or contact Porky's Corner for a referral at porkycorner@mail.com.